External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar lavished praise on Prime Minister Modi's leadership, highlighting India's resolute stance during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He emphasized that clear directives from the top leadership enabled India to maintain its position firmly. Mr. Jaishankar underscored Prime Minister Modi's instructions prioritizing the welfare of Indian consumers even in the face of external pressure, opposing the procurement of Russian oil. He emphasized the transformation where ministries and bureaucrats are now evaluated based on performance, attributing it to effective leadership and motivation as well. Akshit, my colleague, still with us on the broadcast. Akshit, in fact, this was a flashpoint when it came to India's foreign policy, that we did not succumb to any kind of pressure between, when it was, our time to buy oil from Russia.
Well, yes, because it's now quite palpable that ministers of the government are also echoing that they are now judged on the basis of their performance. And now, as Jaishankar also heaped praise on the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he also said that India was also able to keep a firm stand during the Russia-Ukraine conflict because there were clear instructions from the top leadership. And he said that the PM Modi had given clear instructions to keep the interest of Indian consumers in priority despite external pressure after purchasing Russian oil. And he also recalled the time of the conflict and said that Prime Minister Modi had asked to put all the efforts in evacuating the Indian students also. And meanwhile, if I just also tell you that the External Affairs Minister also said that how the officials went to Ukraine to evacuate the students. Of course, in a sense, it actually tells that how External Affairs Minister is also heaping praise on the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, not only in evacuating Indians but also keeping in interest keeping in the consumer interest.
Akshit, thank you for that. Let us now move on to some national stories. Former Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao's nephew Kanna Rao was arrested by the Telangana police for allegedly trespassing on private land and attacking the staff of a private firm. And according to the FIR, Rao's men allegedly trespassed, damaged boundary walls with a JCB and also attempted to encroach upon the land. A special operation group of Hawk Force gunned down 2 Naxals, including a woman carrying rewards of Rs 43 lakh on their hands in an encounter in Madhya Pradesh's Balaghat district. The encounter with the Naxals occurred in Pitkona forest, and the team also recovered arms and ammunition. In an effort to reach out to the veterans and Veer Naris, Tirupura Red Shield Division of the Indian Army organized an ex-serviceman rally at Agartala military station. The aim of the rally was to address their grievances, anomalies in documentation, and also to provide them information about the post-retirement benefits and other governmental schemes. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has admitted that its armed forces killed 7 aid workers in an airstrike in Gaza, claiming that the strike was unintentional. Expressing regret over the incident, Netanyahu said that, and I quote, "Unfortunately, in the last day, there was a tragic case of our forces unintentionally hitting innocent people in the Gaza Strip." Netanyahu also stated that it will be investigated right to the end. Contact has been made with the governments and everything will be done so that this thing does not happen again. The aid workers were killed in a deadly strike in the Gaza Strip as they unloaded desperately needed aid brought by sea to the war-torn territory. Well, US President Joe Biden expressed deep dismay and sorrow over an Israeli airstrike in Gaza that resulted in the deaths of 7 individuals affiliated with the World Central Kitchen organization. He emphasized the need for Israel to take additional measures to safeguard aid workers and urged for a prompt and transparent investigation into the incident. Mr. Biden underscored the gravity of the situation, noting that this incident is a part of a broader pattern in which a significant number of aid workers have tragically lost their lives in the ongoing conflict. Well, 3 British aid workers lost their lives in Gaza due to an Israeli airstrike, according to the charity World Central Kitchen. Expressing shock and sorrow, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer both reacted to the reports. Mr. Sunak conveyed his deep sadness, while Starmer described the reports as horrifying. In a statement shared on X, Sunak condemned the airstrike and called for a comprehensive investigation to determine accountability for those who are responsible. Ajay Jandyal, my colleague, joins us on the phone line to talk more about this. Ajay, this is indeed very tragic, and this only goes on to solidify the criticism and the admonishment and the rebuke Israel has been receiving for its indiscriminate attack on Gaza and Rafah.
Well, that's true that, from every corner, Israel is facing the heat that how the workers, the aid workers, they have been killed in the Israel attack. But clarifying the situation, Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, he clarifies that he basically tried to pacify the situation by giving a statement that the incident which has happened in which aid workers were killed, that was not intentional attack, and they say that we will investigate it further. But expressing regret over the incident, Netanyahu said that unfortunately in the last day there was a tragic case of our forces unintentionally hitting innocent people in the Gaza, and we are definitely doing the investigation as well, and it happened in a war. We will investigate it right to the end at what exactly has happened, and we are in contact with the governments, and we will do everything so that this thing does not happen again. That is what Netanyahu has said, but definitely from every corner they are facing the heat and anger of the other countries as well.
Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, international affairs expert, is joining us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Srivastava, what do you make of this? This is obviously inviting the ire of the Western world, which stood in support of Netanyahu, and now seems to be against what Israel is doing.
Yes, Vineet, I think this is a very tragic development which has happened, and this clearly exposes the kind of a grave situation which is prevailing out there in Gaza. And collateral damages have happened. It is not that for the first time innocent lives have been lost. In this case in particular, the Western countries, those who are, as you mentioned very rightly, they are very much standing by side of Israel in their war against terrorism, in their war against Hamas. They have come under this kind of attack. Though Israeli Prime Minister is saying that it is unintentional, but it is quite clear that a lot of innocent lives have been lost in this war, and Israel will have to take a lot of care and caution while going ahead with their operation. That is imperative on Israel, and it will certainly put a lot of pressure on Israel that how they conduct their operations here on. And I think it is also important for Israel to come out with better strategies, better planning, better way of conducting their anti-terror operation, and that is what precisely United States of America and other countries are also suggesting. And I think it is in this kind of a situation, it will be also good for Israel if they go ahead.
Mr. Srivastava, appreciate you joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.